Now it's the one that most people have been dreading for, and it's the hardest one. And school and textbooks makes this one feel impossible. But there's a trick here that made this extremely simple and easy for me. And once I learned it this way, I rarely mess this one up. And it's obviously the subjunctive, the imperative. I like to call it the mood tense. And I like to put it all into one sort of rule. When there's doubt or uncertainty, that's when this happens. Or when there's a demand or an order. Now, those two are actually the same thing, because whenever you demand something from someone, there is a fundamental doubt or an uncertainty that that person will do it. And so the real rule here is when there is doubt or uncertainty, that's when this happens, okay? You know, in the technical terms for this is when there's doubt or uncertainty, it's the subjunctive. And when it's an order or demand, it's the imperative. But they actually conjugate the exact same way with one exception. And so that's why I like to group them together. The one exception being that affirmative two commands will be conjugated differently. But you don't really think about that right now, okay? So whenever there's a doubt or uncertainty, like if you wanted to say, I don't think he speaks Spanish, right? You not thinking is a fact. And so you wouldn't conjugate creer in the subjunctive or the mood tense. But him speaking Spanish has a doubt. We are doubtful. We're uncertain if he speaks Spanish. And so he speaks would be conjugated in mood tense, okay? When you desire something like, I want you to eat more, me wanting that is a fact. But you eating more isn't a fact. It's uncertain. And so we would conjugate comas, or the verb so we'd conjugate the verb to eat, comer, in the mood tense. Okay? It's when you demand something or you order something. And it could be either an affirmative command, so telling someone to do something. And it can also be a negative, so it could be telling someone to not do something. Okay? So don't speak so fast, right? No hables tan rápido. No, don't eat that. No comas eso. Okay, so the way we conjugate these is by doing the same regular conjugation like in the present tense, okay, except you actually swap the endings from adverbs and erir verbs. And so if you remember in the beginning of the video when I explained the present tense, he, she, it, or you formal speaks in the regular present tense would be habla, and he, she, it, or you formal eats would be come, and so we'd have the as the ending for erir verbs and a as the ending for adverbs. For the mood tense, you just switch those. Meaning, he, she, it, you formal speaks in the mood tense would be hable, and he, she, it, you formal eat would be coma in the mood tense. Okay? And the same thing applies to the rest of it. You just swap the endings for er and need verbs in the present tense. It's that simple. Okay? And I know what you're thinking. What about irregular verbs? Well,